तो प्लीज माता जी दंड प्रणाम जय श्री राम। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुर्विष्णुवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। So last time we discussed about the three kinds of devotees, discussed about Karishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari, and how to deal with these kind of devotees. By we mentally honor anybody who chants the holy name. We physically bow down to those who have undergone spiritual initiation, and we serve those who are pure devotees. Um, Now, this verse discusses about and the actually last that was on Tuesday. Wednesday we spoke about how not to see the devotee with an external vision, and we discussed about the concept of Vaishnava Aparadh, and we discussed various examples. Basically, how not to see and how not to deal with devotees. So, see, Rupa Goswami has given two verses on how to deal with devotees and how not to deal with devotees. Um, and once we have, once we are practicing these things, what are the things we are practicing? We are practicing tolerating the urges. We are practicing things which are favorable for bhakti, like enthusiasm and determination, patience. We are avoiding things like asatsang, atyahara, over endeavor, um, Mm, once and then when we are trying to have loving relationship with devotees, when we are honoring devotees as per their stature, and when we are not committing any offenses against the devotees, when we are doing these things, and then we should chant the holy names. um, and even if our um, external activities are pure, like we are not offending, um, we are not associating with non-devotees, or we are tolerating our urges. Even when we are doing those things, one may not have a natural relish in the holy name. So then this verse speaks. Now you go on chanting and chanting and chanting while practicing the previous six verses. And this verse speaks about, because this verse speaks about how um, the cause of our not having taste in chanting is ignorance. And because of ignorance, one identifies oneself with the body, and one have many desires, um, uh, which are not basically Krishna conscious desires. And all this desire comes because of ignorance. So, and because there are many attachments and there are many desires, the taste in the holy name and the purity of the heart does not exist yet. Although externally we are doing whatever is recommended, we may still not have a natural relish for the holy name. So then Rupa Goswami says, keep on chanting, 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 while not committing offenses, honoring the devotees, being enthusiastic, um, tolerating the urges, and go on chanting, chanting, chanting. And gradually, the chanting itself, being a medicine in itself, will cure the disease of the heart, which is ignorance or identification with the body, desires, attachments, whatever is unwanted thing, whatever, because we are covered by the influence of three modes. We are natural living entity who has innate love for the Lord, but it is covered by the three modes or by the illusory energy. So now we start the cleansing process. And when we are following everything nicely and we start cleaning, slowly the soul will start to awaken one's relationship with Krishna. And one will develop pure love. So this is what the verse is, how to develop taste in the holy names. Shat Krishna Nam Charitadi Sitapya Vidya. Oh, this like Brahma Samhita meter, but it goes. Anyway, we can do the same. Shat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya. Pittopatapta Rasanasya Narochikano. Kintva Anudinam Kalushaiva Jushta Swadvikramat Bhavati Tat Kadamolahantri. The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So, what this verse basically says is right now we are in a disease condition, and the disease is ignorance of who we really are. And because who we really are means um, an eternal servant of Krishna, and that's the only reality. And everything else is ignorance. So ignorance of our true identity is the root cause, is the disease. That is a disease. And this disease is compared to the jaundice. Now, jaundice, when one is afflicted by jaundice, anything sweet tastes bitter. Um, And sugar candy itself is the cure or the medicine for jaundice. Like Srila Prabhupada gives an example. In jaundice, sugarcane juice tastes bitter, but you keep on drinking sugarcane juice, keep on drinking, keep on drinking, keep on drinking. Gradually, you will start relishing the sugarcane juice. Once the natural taste, we can relish its natural taste. That means the jaundice is cured. Likewise, the disease is ignorance. And when we chant, 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 our natural taste for Krishna Krishna name, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's form, everything is described as inherently sweet. Like when we chant the name, sometime we may not like it, or we may not have taste to hear about Krishna, to hear the pastimes of Krishna. We may not have that taste, or hear Bhagavatam or read Bhagavatam, or Bhagavad Gita or Chaitanya Charitamrita. In fact, we may dislike them. In fact, we may avoid them, or we may feel sleepy when we are hearing or reading. We may not have that natural taste, but it is described that they are. We may not have taste, but their nature is they are very sweet. Name, form, qualities, pastimes is very sweet, but we are not able to experience that. But by doing the same thing over and over, the disease will be removed, the disease of jaundice will be removed, and natural taste will awaken. And the disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So basically, the essence is have faith that Krishna's name, qualities, pastimes, form, everything is very sweet. I am not able to taste it because I am diseased. And by uh, by keep on chanting and hearing and reading, the disease will be destroyed. And whatever is their natural sweetness, one day I'll be able to relish it. This is the sum and substance. So we'll see the introduction, our disease condition, three stages in chanting, progressive stages in becoming cure, and the six types of unsteady bhakti. Yes, we will discuss this. So, what we discussed is the introduction. Um, the jaundice is compared to ignorance, or our disease is compared to ignorance, or our false identity. Uh, we have forgotten our true identity as I am a spirit soul and I am part and parcel of Krishna. And that is the only truth. Everything else is illusion. That is ignorance. Okay. What is ignorance or disease condition? When a man in the material world takes more interest in the materialistic way of life than in Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be in a disease condition. So, who is disease condition? When a person is very eager or very interested in this world, in materialistic way of life, than compared to Krishna. So, is Krishna consciousness our main business, or is Krishna consciousness our side business? If Krishna consciousness is our main business and everything else is we are doing because it needs to be done, then we are becoming healthier. The normal condition is to remain an eternal servant of Krishna. Jivera Sarup Hoya Haya Krishnera Nityadas. This healthy condition is lost when the living entity forgets Krishna due to being attracted by the external features of Krishna's Maya energy. So when we become covered by illusory energy, then we forget that I am eternal, I am spiritual, and I am part and parcel of Krishna. When this is forgotten, then one is covered by Krishna's illusory energy. When we are fully nourished with Krishna consciousness, we do not feel the need to go to Maya in search of false shelter. So Prabhupada says this word of Maya is called Durashraya. Dura Ashraya means shelter and Dura means false. So this Maya is called false shelter, which means false or bad shelter. One who puts his faith in Durashraya becomes a candidate for hoping against hope. So what is Durashraya? Means this thing will make me happy. We are taking shelter of, we are taking the shelter of illusion. Um, this is what I want, whatever that this is. And we are taking shelter of those material needs, demands, desires, attachments, association, whatever it is. That's what I'm seeking shelter in. So this is Durashraya. Ashraya means we are hoping for solace or happiness or but the thing is, all this is going to bring anxiety, pain, and suffering. So hoping against hope means there is no hope there, but I am hoping this is what will give me shelter. Actually, what will give us shelter is the holy name, is uh, is Krishna. That is the real shelter. Krishna is Ashray Tattva, and we are Ashrita Tattva. Ashray Tattva means he gives shelter, and we surrender ourselves and we come under his protection, under his shelter. Then we become completely peaceful and satisfied. Real shelter. But Maya presents a false shelter, hoping against hope. So this is our ignorance, or this is our disease. We are hoping to receive shelter under Maya. This is, and because of that, because we think this is gonna give me shelter, we are very much interested in material activities. Again, wealth, fame, beauty. Mahaprabhu says, na dhanam, na janam, na sundaram. So those are again the things that one can take shelter of. Becoming big, becoming maybe uh, acquiring things, whatever it may be. These are all durashraya. These things are going to give me comfort, solace, what I'm looking for. Only Krishna, Krishna's form, Krishna's name, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes, only they are the Ashray Tattva. Living entity cannot get shelter anywhere else. Anywhere else is compared to Mahadavagni, forest fire. Anywhere else leads to anxiety. Only Krishna is the Ashray Tattva. So naturally, when we don't have faith in that, now we are caught up in illusion. Or this is disease, or this is ignorance. And because of our diseased condition, now we are running behind those false, we are trying to acquire those false shelters. And the result is heart keeps burning. So what one has to do is one has to sincerely take to the holy name and be on it and be on it, be on it till the shelter comes. In the beginning, shelter won't be available. In the beginning, when we chant, the shelter won't be there because we have not developed that taste in that. Because of our attachment here, we won't be able to have a natural relish because we have natural relish for durashraya, for maya shelter. Natural taste is there. So that shelter is like, I'm doing it. But then if we keep be on it, be on it, be on it, slowly we will lose faith in this shelter. And we'll start, when we start receiving shelter there, in Krishna's name, Krishna's form, when we start receiving shelter there, this shelter is going to loosen its grip on us. And we will start letting it go. That is so wonderful, so nice. So now we can see that now we are becoming cured of our disease. Natural taste is awakening. This is what is gonna happen. How to come out, sir?
Prabhuji,
Uh,
Vinay. So
Prabhu.
verse 1 and verse 7. So verse 1 tells to tolerate the urges, and verse
Uh,
7 says what to replace it with, the taste
uh,
of Lord.
Amazing, Prabhu. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And what Rupa Goswami is telling in the beginning, it's tolerance, tolerating the urges, because this has not yet awakened. But gradually, if we follow, this is what Vaidhi Bhakti means. It's like regulated or based on scriptures. And when we tolerate those urges, because if we are indulging and maybe some Vaishnava prad and maybe not having loving relationship with devotees and having a satsang, if we are doing those things, even if we are chanting, it will never awaken actually. So Rupa Goswami is telling you tolerate them and then you keep on chanting, then slowly it will awaken. All right, Guruji. Okay. Any other question, discussion?
So, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Gagan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, as you said, like if we keep on doing the asatsang, then the taste will never come. So, and also we hear that the holy names has the potency to remove, like as you said, once you start developing taste here, then the taste in Durashraya will, or the like shelter in Durashraya will keep on decreasing. Like how these things go together, because once you are saying that if we keep on doing this, then we will not develop taste, and you are saying that if we are developing taste, we are gonna leave it by ourselves
Yeah.
naturally.
Yeah, but so Prabhu, um, taste is there, I agree. In a satsang, um, taste is there, and we seek shelter there. I agree with that also. But then we are intellectually convinced this is not good for me. And so we don't pay much attention to that, although it may be desirable, we tolerate those urges, and sometimes um, we may relish um, something which is maybe not desirable. Sometimes it may happen. Um, Still, Krishna simultaneously give an experience of how that results in a forest fire within the heart. And then we keep on taking shelter of the holy name, holy name, holy name, holy name, holy name. We keep ourselves busy with service. We try to seek shelter here, although that taste remains. Um, Gradually, when this awakens, that is going to loosen its grip on us. So, what we are not doing is we are not going with the flow of our mind and desires. We are going towards Krishna and we are avoiding that, although here and there we may relish it, but we are not consciously putting all our energy there. Does that? There is a withdrawal tendency there. We are trying, we are trying, and we are putting more energy on Krishna. So that's how the process will work.
Thank you
Does
so
that
much,
answer?
Prabhuji. Yes,
Uh,
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
so what is not good is I know what is wrong and I am just going full speed. I know what is wrong, and I'm just on it, on it, on it, and then I'm chanting. Then it won't work, or maybe like takes a very very long time. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anything else?
So, Prabhuji, for Grihastha, what is the practical state in this situation? Uh, Means too much taste in
Yeah.
bhakti, then there's uh, I know the answer, but I'm just we all always told to balance it out.
Can you you are explaining? So you are saying if there is too much taste in bhakti,
Yeah, then the taste in grihast, will that reduce?
oh yeah, definitely, Prabhuji. Any taste will reduce. Any ashray will go with the shelter of Krishna. We try to be sincere, do our duties, uh, bring more and more Krishna in the center of our ashram, have separate time for our 16 rounds, our hearing, our seva. We start going more towards Krishna at the same time, bring Krishna in the center of our grihastha ashram. And slowly, slowly, as taste for Krishna develops more and more and more, um, see, once natural taste awakens, from the heart that um, we will start pulling ourselves from the heart, may not be externally, but the ashraya of this material world will start to weaken, and we will become more inclined to take shelter of Krishna, and we'll start relishing more there. And gradually, completely, we will be pulled towards a natural awakening towards Krishna. Gradually, it will
Yes, Pooja, it's beautiful experience.
happen. Yeah, it's we can experience it. It's life for us. We are trying to live that. So we all have our own experiences. Thank you, Vinay. Anything else? Okay. Then how to come out of such ignorance? Although Krishna consciousness may not be very palatable for a deceased person, Srila Rupa Goswami nonetheless advises that if one want to be cured of the material disease, he must take to it with great care and attention. So Rupa Goswami says, even if the taste is not there, with great care and attention, take to devotional service. Chant your rounds very sincerely. Once one begins his treatment by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because by chanting this holy name of the Lord, a person in the material condition will be relieved from all misconceptions. Cheto Darpana Marjana means the beginning of coming to the natural awakening is take to the holy name, and by the holy name, the heart will be gradually cleansed. Avidya, a misconception about one's spiritual identity. That's the root cause of avidya. Yes, I don't know who I am, or I know who I am, but I am not acting on that platform. I am acting on a platform of durashraya, taking shelter of um, 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 what I want, what I desire, seeking, really seeking that. And that is, and although I know, based on my action, I can conclude that actually I haven't realized it. So the avidya is still fully dense in us in a way. So avidya, misconception about one's, our knowledge is only when we read I am a spirit soul, then only I am a spirit soul. Or if somebody asks who are you, then I am a spirit soul. Or if you ask somebody, then you remind yourself, yes, I am a spirit soul. But then we are not acting on that platform. So that is the disease. You're acting on a Durashaya platform. So avidya, a misconception about one's spiritual identity, provides the foundation for ahankar or false ego within the heart. Provides the foundation for ahankar. This avidya is actually because of ahankar. Ahankar is where I identify myself with something not as a spirit soul, as the mind, as the intelligence, as the body. And then because of that ahankar, I am taking shelter of what is false. This false ego is taking shelter of false shelter. This pulling me. So we as per Rupa Goswami take shelter of Krishna repeatedly. Keep on chanting. How to come out of such ignorance? Yes, Maya targets your chanting. That's what Maya will do. Because it's our, like this is from Mahatma Prabhu. Mahatma Prabhu says, because it's our most potent weapon against her. To the degree you allow her to distract you from chanting well, you become malleable to her will, because this is the most powerful weapon actually to fight against avidya and to awaken the natural taste is the holy name. And she targets our chanting, and our chanting becomes we kind of slacken on our chanting. um, Instead of sitting at one place sincerely chanting my round early in the morning, we slowly start, this is the most powerful weapon, and we slowly start like doing things and chanting, driving and chanting, somehow here and there, finishing our rounds. When we slacken on that, means Maya is capturing us more. So Maya targets our chanting, and then once our chanting becomes weak, then we become malleable to her will. Means then she will become stronger, or we'll start submitting to her. we'll start fulfilling her needs and demands, and we start getting more distracted and more, and that's a path of downfall actually. Mm. So now three stages in chanting. There is Nam Aparad, there is Nam Abhas, and there is Shuddha Nam. So there is Nam Aparad is the offensive stage. Nam Aparad is beginning. When we begin to chant the holy name, we may be committing many offenses, and that is offensive stage. When we are chanting with the offenses, it's like darkness. We cannot see Krishna, we cannot experience Krishna. The mind is going all over the place, mind is distracted. Um, we are thinking of our schedule, what to cook, what will happen at the job, and we are trying to bring it back, and the mind is again all over the place. Again, bring it back to the to hear the holy name. Mind just doesn't listen to the holy name. So this is Nam Aparat stage, means nothing is visible, but it is just going on, which is perfect. That is the first stage. This is Nam Aparat stage, and um, then slowly one comes to the stage of clearing the offenses. Clearing the offenses means um, two things one is doing. One is identifying where am I going wrong. One becomes more careful with one's dealings, one's thoughts, one's words. Um, one becomes careful about not offending, pleasing devotees, serving devotees, and one also keeps on chanting more and more while being careful. So when we chant more and more, the previous offenses, the result of previous offenses starts to clear, and because we are not committing new offenses, slowly we start getting a glimpse of the holy name. A glimpse means now the mind can listen. Maybe we can once in a while see the form of Krishna. We can become absorbed little bit. So slowly it's like we are getting some abhas. Abhas means like some feeling little bit. Again, the next day again the mind may be distracted again. Maybe we go to offensive stage. We kind of roll for some time. Sometime we are in Namabhas where we actually experience the holy name, just a glimpse. Not full manifestation won't come, but we can get a glimpse, be absorbed in name, form, qualities, pastimes, or the mind is fixed, mind can listen. So there is some abhas. So that at least at that time we are not. Again, we may make some mistakes. Again, we go back to then the reaction of Nama Prad comes, and again chanting become distracted. So there is some tug of war between Nama Prad and Nama Bhas, but slowly, by being sincere, and then Krishna teaches us by many experiences and time what to do, what not to do, becomes more and more careful, and then we become more and more expert in avoiding offenses. Slowly, when once anarthas also reduce in that stage, naturally the tendency to offend further reduces. More and more careful. Why? Because once one realizes, hey, I'm putting so much effort, and for few words I speak or few things I do or something, everything is like becoming null and void in a way, and just progress is not happening. And when he hears Paramatma inspires, Guru inspires, other Vaishnava association inspires, slowly we start getting a glimpse, and that glimpse remains. Then we are in the stage of lessening the offenses or clearing the stage, and we are getting from dawn. So this is dawn is like we are in between dawn and beginning of sun rays. Something is there, some experience is there, some absorption is there, some listening. Mind can sit and listen now. There is some abhas there, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on for a considerable amount of time, and by the mercy of Guru, one comes to Shuddhana. See, beginning of sun rays means dawn means you feel good. Beginning of sun rays means you actually start seeing the sun, but only a little bit, and the Maya is dispelled. When it is dawn, the Maya is still there, but some glimpse is also there. With beginning sun rays, you actually start seeing things as they are. Things are not dark anymore, but things are not fully manifested. Means we start getting a glimpse of Krishna. um, we can start seeing how illusion is working, how Maya is working, and we start seeing Krishna, but it's not full blown manifestation yet. So that is in between the stage of Nama Bhas and Shuddhana, and the final pure stage is full manifestation of sun, means you actually see the sun. So there you have realized the Lord, the love has awakened. Shuddhanam is like pure love has awakened. Prema has attained, has been attained. Um, full manifested. Heart is fully illumined, like pure devotees. Like that's it. Goal is attained. Life is successful. So these are the three stages in chanting. Uh, Something from Srila Prabhupada's purport on that. When a neophyte takes to chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, he generally commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses, and if devotee avoids these, he can glimpse to the next stage, which is situated between offensive chanting and pure chanting. When one attains the pure stage, he is immediately liberated. Like when the moment we come to Shuddhana, liberation is there. No more material desires remains. No, Shuddhana means no avidya remains. No, we can clearly see the false shelter, and there is absolutely zero tendency to take shelter, to take false shelter, and one is absolutely situated in Krishna's shelter. This is the pure stage. He is completely liberated now. Nothing in this material world affects him or attracts him. Um, Absolutely situated in his liberated stage, in a pure state. This is called Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapana. So Bhava Mahadavagni means initially one was in this forest fire of material existence. Nirvapana means now completely cooled. The heart is completely cooled and liberated from this dense attachments in this material existence. As soon as one is liberated from the blazing fire of material existence, he can relish the taste of transcendental life. And everything is awakened. He relished that. Amazing, actually. The stage of Shuddhana. Super. Okay, any discussion up so far? The three stages of chanting.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat for question.
Namata, yes, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you said when there's like pure name that's being taken, when the consciousness is pure, like one is immediately liberated. But like we are hankering for service. So like is there a stage in between, or like did you mean something else, or did I misunderstand?
You mean in the pure stage? In the pure stage, everything is fully awakened. Like Krishna is awakened. Uh, Pure love has awakened, and one get a complete relief from attachments in this, and one is no more attracted, and one heart is constantly and fully flowing towards Krishna. Um, one is like in a complete shelter of Krishna, always absorbed in Krishna, liberated from this material entanglement. So this is the result of pure name. That's what I said. I don't know if
Yes, Prabhuji, that I was just confused because you said like then liberation is there, but we are hankering for even more. So that's why I was confused that we don't
oh,
only stop at the liberation stage, like we are even wanting for more.
I mean, one way to see it as is when we are liberated and when we are absorbed in Krishna, one is never satisfied in that stage because there is a constant desire or there is a constant hankering to relish more and more and more and more and more. So this is like achintya, inconceivable in a way that one is fully satisfied and one is not satisfied. Because the moment one forgets Krishna, the heart starts to burn. And the taste is so much that one is like in the race of relishing it more and more and more. Let's keep drinking, 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 drinking.
That makes sense. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Right. Anything else? Mm. Okay. So becoming a Bhakti gardener, um, the primary practice. So Bhakti gardener, there is a verse that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells to Sanatana Goswami that the living entity is wandering in this material existence in 8.4 million species in different planetary system, and by one's good fortune, when the living entity Jiva comes in contact with the Guru or Krishna, then one gets the seed of bhakti. And this seed of bhakti is an experience, a desire, a desire to grow and advance, uh, a solace in the heart that this is nice, uh, a faith towards devotion and bhakti. So all these are example of seed. And when one comes in association with Guru and Krishna, this seed is installed. And once the seed of bhakti is installed, then one wants to nurture it. Um, and that is done by the watering process. And this watering is called Shravanam and Kirtanam. The process of Bhakti Yoga is a process of nurturing the Bhakti Lata seed. So based on that, this is also wonderful. Becoming a Bhakti gardener. The primary practice of Bhakti Yoga will cause the seed of devotion to sprout. The more and more Bhakti Yoga we do, the seed will sprout, which is planted by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. By the watering process, some weeds are also grown. When we water, anybody who has done gardening, even in Tulsi, sometimes we are watering Tulsi and some small little plants come, which are actually weeds. So wherever water is going, some weeds may come also. So by the watering process, some weeds are also grown. So basically, through hearing and chanting, some weeds may grow through hearing and chanting also. Because hearing and chanting is the watering process. So by the watering process, some weeds are also grown, and unless such weeds are uprooted, the nurturing of the main creeper or the creeper of Bhakti Yoga may be hampered. So what happens? When we are watering, the weeds may soak all the water, and Bhakti creeper and the actual plant may begin to crumble down. Likewise, when we take to the process of Bhakti, Shravanam and Kirtanam, some weeds may arise. And if we start watering those weeds, um, um, then bhakti may choke. So a gardener has to be very expert to uproot the weeds, first to identify the weeds and to uproot them so that bhakti can keep growing. And this is the role of a paramahamsa. A hamsa is swan. A swan is able to distinguish milk from water. When you give a swan milk mixed with water, the swan can, I think, something like take the water out of the nose or milk out of the nose. Something is there, but the swan can actually separate the two. Likewise, Srila Prabhupada says a Paramhamsa should be able to distinguish. This is weed, this is weed, or this is bhakti. Like one devotee was mentioning, I like that example. One brahmachari in Pune. So one person came to him and he said that Prabhu, I never saw you singing Mangal Arati. So this brahmachari said, every day I'm singing Mangal Arati. What do you mean you never saw me singing Mangal Arati? Then he said, oh, I mean like on a microphone. I never saw you singing Mangal Arati. So this Prabhu was mentioning, I was talking to him, this Prabhu was mentioning, see Prabhu, how um, the purpose is to sing Mangal Arati or the purpose is to sing Mangal Arati on microphone. If I desire to sing Mangal Arati on microphone, um, okay, fine. Or is the purpose to sing Mangal Arati to absorb in glorification of Guru? So Paramhamsa means he should be able to distinguish between what is weed and what is weed and what is actual bhakti creeper. Um, Actually, these weeds are, what are these weeds? Material enjoyment. Actually, when we perform Shravanam Kirtanam sincerely, material enjoyment opportunities may come even more. Economic development may come actually. Sense gratification, more and more opportunity of sense gratification will be there actually. Unnecessary engagements and hankering after material gain, prestige, adoration. These are all the weeds basically. And these things may come through Shravanam Kirtanam actually. One may become, as one become more and more absorbed, then one may want some, maybe some name and fame. One may want to showcase one's bhakti. One may want to um, material comforts may come. So many things may come, and one may start whatever is coming from the result of bhakti. If one starts to enjoy the result of bhakti and slackens the bhakti itself and becomes more focused on the weeds that are arising, the opportunity for weed. They're not the weed. Everything is given to a devotee. But if one starts to find pleasure in the weeds and not in the bhakti itself, थोड़ा गड़बड़ होगा जीवन आपका, उथल पुथल होगा जीवन आपका. Then there will be some difficulties in our life. So this is very difficult to identify or to distinguish weed, weed and bhakti. Mm. And it is recommended reading and hearing helps to distinguish what is bhakti creeper and what is a weed. And then determination, sincerity. Sincerity means sticking to the creeper, watering the creeper, not watering the weed. When weed may become focused. Oh, this weed is very nice. Let me put energy on this weed. Arey Baba, your focus should be on the bhakti creeper. You water the bhakti creeper. But we start watering the weeds. Then the bhakti creeper may begin to choke, or we may start to struggle in our devotional practices. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that a devotee should become a gardener. Um, Carefully grow your bhakti. If sufficient care is not taken, then the watering process may only help to breed the weeds, stunting the healthy growth of the main creeper and resulting in no fructification of the ultimate requirement, love of God. And if one is not careful, then one may not attain the goal and may be distracted on the way. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, and these creepers are unlimited in number, Mahaprabhu says. And one must become expert in identifying them. That helps by sharpening the intellect or discrimination. And that comes by hearing, reading, and other processes. Okay, any discussion on this?
Prabhuji, sometimes the bhakti can be the medium to showcase our talent. I mean, some like that's how I have seen people. It just singing, it just becomes talent. So sometimes, or my kid want to be in the limelight, or if I am working, everybody appreciates, admires my leadership quality. And I have found that if we just keep on putting water to weed, it doesn't help how many years we are doing the service.
Amazing, Prabhu. That's what I'm trying to say. You spoke in a very succinct way. One has to be careful with that, Prabhuji. To distinguish what is bhakti, I want to do some service. What I want to attain through my seva. Do I want to attain to please Krishna, or is there something else that is giving me enthusiasm in my seva? If it is pleasing Krishna and devotees, or is it something else? Something else, if I'm doing my seva for something else, I'm actually watering the weed. If I am doing the seva for pleasing Guru and Krishna, I'm nurturing the bhakti creeper. And my spiritual master says most of us, Maharaj says, are not able to distinguish between weed and creeper, and most of us end up in watering the weeds only. And that's why it takes much longer time to um, to awaken the natural relish. It takes longer time. Amazing, actually.
Prabhuji,
But
when you
Prabhuji,
said pleasing Guru and Krishna, so does the devotees also come in that? If you're doing some service for pleasing Guru and Krishna, so does
uh,
devotees also?
yes, devotees. I mean, we can be. Um, there is a thin line between if devotees comes, yes, um, Vaishnavas. But if we see them as Vaishnavas, if we see them as like uh, there is a thin line. Um, if I'm not, if I'm seeing Vaishnavas as Vaishnavas, that they are devotees of Krishna, and it's not a specific Vaishnava or something. It's like, or maybe a specific Vaishnava, but the relationship with the specific Vaishnava is purely based on devotion, um, um, bhakti, and pleasing. Um, did I think I answered. I think you understood.
Yes, Prabhuji, that does make sense. Perfect.
Okay, thank you. विनय प्रभु आप कुछ बोल रहे थे पीछे से.
yes, Prabhuji, so these weeds actually I've seen they are the starting motivator to join bhakti sometimes. Uh, uh, but we must not start relishing it. It can be the starter, but slowly weed it out and put bhakti more emphasis. That's the hard part. I think we all struggle with.
Both ways is there, Prabhuji. Like Krishna says, four kind of people come to me: those who are distressed, search of wealth, inquisitive, and in or seeking knowledge. Search for wealth, distressed, or something material they gain through bhakti. So that may be an impetus. And then once they start experiencing bhakti, um, kirtan, devotee association, discussions, holy name, then they may become part of it. So now they become more bhakti. Initially, one may come for weed. Dhruv Maharaj also came for weed, na? A kingdom bigger than my great grandfather. So, okay, fine. You take bhakti because of weed, okay, in the beginning. But then what happened? The weeds, then more weeds will grow.
Yes, yes. We should not water it. It will become very strong.
Water it. But I don't know how many of us are experts in that. Our joy comes from watering the weeds, bro.
Yeah. Very natural, Prabhuji.
So that's where it takes a very long time to awaken the natural relish. So this is a constant reminder or a regular reminder from Lord Chaitanya. Focus on the central part. But should be
Prabhuji,
focused. Yes, Arthur.
sorry, Prabhuji, I didn't mean to cut you off. Prabhuji,
Bataiye.
like how you mentioned about Dhruv Maharaj, I just correct me if I'm wrong. Like I heard that he's not allowed to go to Golok Vrindavan. He only goes up to Vishnu Lok.
Yes.
So does it have anything to do with how he started the bhakti?
I mean, he started because he was angry and he wanted kingdom greater than Brahma's kingdom. And he asked the Narad Muni, tell me, how can I get a kingdom greater than Brahma? And Narad Muni says, क्या बात कर रहे हो बच्चे हो घर जाओ. And then he says, if you tell me, then he says all the desires will be fulfilled by Narayan. You chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So his initial motive was to actually get a kingdom. और बदले की भावना भी थी उनके अंदर कि I want to teach a lesson to my stepmother. and my brother-in-law, he was unhappy with them, very angry actually. But then everything subsided and he developed love for them, no desire for kingdom. That happened in the course of bhakti. So came through weed, but bhakti removed it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Hare
Any other
Krishna,
question?
Prabhuji.
Ah, is
Prabhuji,
that
as you
Gagan?
said,
Gagan
yes,
is
Prabhuji.
Hari.
Hare
What?
Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, so as you said, like with when bhakti increases, like when you start like devotional service, then you will get more weeds, like more sense enjoyment opportunities and everything. And
Ah,
also, I was like reading one book. In that book, it was mentioned from the Bhagavatam that if Krishna feels merciful towards someone, then he will remove all the material things from him, and he will be heartbroken, poverty-stricken kind of person.
ah. Uh, so
So,
your question is how Krishna removes?
so my question is like, at one place it says like Krishna will remove all those things, and he will be poverty-stricken guy, and every relatives will reject him.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
at one place he will also get more opportunities. So how these things balance, like
yeah, yeah.
go
Thank you.
together?
So, Prabhu, Krishna has given us free will. Actually, how much progress we make in bhakti is based on our free will. Now, weeds are there, bhakti is there. First is identify, hey, this is weed, this is bhakti. And then we may water the weed. And when we water the weed, we will see it will result into distress, anxiety, hankering, suffering, kalesh. All these things will start coming when we water the weed. And then that that is Krishna's mercy, so that we can tune ourselves back to Krishna. Um, so eventually, yes, that's why I say I'm not saying that if we are watering the weed, um, we will not attain. Krishna's mercy will come in a different way to teach us some lessons. Krishna's mercy will come through that way, but the process is much longer. Another process is which is that's why I said it will take much longer time. But another process is I'm distinguishing and I'm focusing on bhakti in the center, bhakti in the center, focusing on creeper only, bhakti creeper all the time. That's amazing actually. Does it answer, bro?
So Prabhuji, so my question is like, uh, at one place Krishna says, okay, I'll give you more opulences to enjoy, and he will test you. And at one place it is said like in Bhagavatam that he will take away all of your things, and you will not have anything to enjoy, and then like you like you don't have any option, so you will go towards Krishna. So is it like first you will get the opulence, and if you reject it, then Krishna will remove whatever you have? Or like, because for example in case of let's say Prabhupada story, so he was like having failure in his business and everything.
Mm.
So he said like, okay, Krishna wants me to serve his mission, my guru's
Mm.
mission. So is it like, is it because
Mm.
like he rejected the the material possessions, or like watering the weeds? So that's my
Ah,
question.
yeah. It can be either or, Prabhuji. Krishna can Krishna can take away everything from us. Krishna can give everything to us. Like for Dhruv Maharaj, Krishna gave everything. Um, for Srila Prabhupada, Krishna took away everything and then Krishna gave everything. Um, so one thing that I've heard is Krishna will not give. Krishna will not give what will distract us from Him because Krishna loves us. And when Krishna sees we are getting more and more distracted, then Krishna will make necessary arrangements so that our path to Krishna is will continue. So in a way that Krishna help is always there. When we water the weeds, Krishna will bring some jerks in our life, and then we may come to our senses and we may lament. But later on, we see the hand of Krishna. We feel happy that Krishna is protecting me all the time. Although I may become distracted, Krishna sees that I'm becoming distracted. Krishna interferes personally in my life so that I can focus again back to Him, back to Him. So Krishna's mercy is there. But if we are attentive, then it's like direct path. Otherwise, things are a little bit slower. And if we are not attentive, then we water the weed. Again, we come to Krishna. Then again, we start watering some other weed. Again, Krishna helps us. Again, we water some other weeds, or we keep on watering the creeper, bhakti creeper. So it is much faster. But Krishna help will always be there.
So, Prabhuji, does it depend upon the most the most like suksham desire of ours that I want Krishna, and then Krishna will be like, here you have more time to do bhakti? Or is it like completely his will, or does our desire, a little bit of the desire also plays a role?
Our desire has a role. Krishna will let us fulfill our desire. Krishna can do either ways. Krishna can let us fulfill our desire and bring distress to it. If we are not, if we pray to Krishna, this is what I want. Krishna will fulfill that desire and bring distress to it. And if we are sincere, then at an early stage, Krishna can make arrangements that desire can no more be fulfilled, then we again turn back to Krishna. Or Krishna can take us a little bit deeper and then give us teachings and bring back to him based on how strong we are desiring, and how much mercy Krishna is bestowing on us. But ultimately we'll come back.
So Prabhuji, like Ambarish Maharaj, he has all the opulence and also at the same time he's devotee. So it may depend upon how much we can handle. Like if something is distracting us from our devotion, he will take it away. As long as we can be attached and detached both at the same time, he we may be fine.
Yes. So Krishna can give us everything if we are not distracted by it. Krishna can give us everything, all the kind of so-called weeds in this world, so-called weeds in this world. If one is not distracted by it, Krishna will let us serve in all circumstances, like Ambarish Maharaj, because Krishna says. But when Krishna sees that he's giving us more and more, and we are not able to handle, and we are becoming distracted, then Krishna will reduce his flow of what he is giving us. Because first Krishna wants us, then what we can do. How are we doing? Looks like a lot of churning is going on this topic.
You are hitting the honestness, Prabhuji.
That is like one after the other flow of thoughts. But is everyone peaceful and satisfied?
Yes,
Still okay. Gagan Prabhu, are you also okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay, finally settle down.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. I think there are only 2, 3 slides more. It's 9:36. Do you want me to resume tomorrow, or do you want me to continue today?
We should do it tomorrow, Prabhuji.
Vinay Prabhu is the honest student. Okay, I think we'll keep it to the time. We'll resume this today. I mean, we'll resume this tomorrow, and maybe let's see how far we can go. But for today, we can end. Uh, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, anything inappropriate I spoke, please forgive me as a humble servant. Then pranam, Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhesha kripa sindhube evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Vandanat.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.